Financial relief is coming to Colorado after the federal government approved a reinsurance plan designed to lower health insurance premiums for individuals buying insurance on the Colorado Healthcare Exchange. Projections show that healthcare premiums under the reinsurance plan would drop by more than 18% for over 400,000 Coloradans. Under the plan, the state will cover the most expensive medical claims, allowing private insurers to offer lower rates for individuals participating in the Connect for Health Colorado market, which was created under the Affordable Care Act. Senator Cory Gardner says he's happy that Coloradans will begin saving money on health insurance starting next year.
I'm very pleased the Colorado reinsurance waiver has been granted. This will allow us to drive down insurance costs, provide better care across the state of Colorado. Western Colorado has some of the highest health care costs in the country. This reinsurance policy, this waiver that I helped secure, will help drive down the costs of health care in Colorado. It's important that we have this bipartisan accomplishment.
Senator Michael Bennet also applauded the decision, saying the reinsurance program, quote, will go a long way in lowering premiums for Coloradans across the state, helping to put quality health care coverage in reach for more families. Reinsurance isn't the only improvement coming to health care in Colorado, with changes to social services happening right here in Mesa County. Checkups and doctor visits make up about 10% of what defines our health, whereas things like food, security, housing, and mental health actually make up the bigger picture. But now a new community resource network will hopefully make all resources work more efficiently.
No matter how many social and health resources Mesa County has, if providers aren't on the same page, you can suffer.
There's a lot of providers out there that are doing really great work in the community, but without a really great way to collaborate and communicate with each other, we're having duplicative efforts that are being done, things are falling through the cracks.
That's where the Community Resource Network will come in to avoid
putting the burden of getting help on the people that really need the help, and we can do better than that.
This online platform connects all forms of health and social services, so all your providers know where your life is at.
If somebody doesn't have a roof over their head, or if they're food insecure, if we can catch that upstream, then we're going to catch them before they end up in the ER, or before it culminates into crisis.
This platform has already been recognized out of more than 100 applicants for a Health Innovation Challenge.
Such an exciting idea and platform that we think is so going to transform Mesa County that we want to show it to the nation.
And even if connecting social and health providers isn't something that sounds like it affects you, it can when providers don't have to duplicate their work.
If they knew who else was on the care team and what everyone else was working on, they would be able to align their goals versus doing the same things.
The full version is expected to be here by the end of 2020, and remember, you have a choice to make your information available.
Petitions opposing Colorado's new national popular vote bill are headed to Denver. Petition signing events began in March after Mesa County Commissioner Rose Puglisi and Monarch Mayor Don Wilson, who both opposed the law, received approval from the Secretary of State. Under the law, Colorado's 9 electoral votes would go to the winner of the popular vote, but only if enough states join the compact. And more than 4 months after those petition signings began, Puglisi says there are now enough signatures to send the law to your 2020 ballot.
We needed just under 125,000 validated signatures to get on the ballot, and we are proud to announce that we have over 227,198 signatures that have been counted as of today.
And that was actually yesterday, but Commissioner Puglisi will be taking those signatures to the Colorado Secretary of State today. The National Popular Vote bill is one of many reasons some voters are working to recall Governor Jared Polis. However, a recent political survey by Magellan Strategy shows that recall efforts will likely fall short. 47% of voters oppose the effort to recall the governor, while 38% support the recall and 15% are undecided. However, only 30% of voters who believe the governor and the legislature overreached with new laws also believe that a recall is the proper course of action. Governor Jared Polis currently has a job approval rating of 49%, while 37% disapprove and 14% are unsure. Now, part of the reasoning behind recall efforts is the idea that decisions made by the governor are bad for the state's economy. But despite that thinking, many Republicans say the economy is strong. In fact, during a recent visit to Colorado, Ivanka Trump pointed to economic trends and successes in our state that have occurred since President Trump was elected. However, the Magellan survey shows that the president is still lacking support in the Centennial State. 57% of voters disapprove of the job that Trump has done as president. In fact, in a 2020 ballot test, President Trump trails a generic Democratic Party candidate by 12 points, with 15% of voters choosing a different candidate and 8% being undecided. Currently, Colorado voters prefer Democrats to have control of Congress over Republicans by a 10-point margin. And switching gears now completely, I have to say Hakuna Matata, because the Denver Zoo has a new arrival. They're welcoming a new African lion cub born 1 week ago today to 7-year-old mom Nalaya and 3-year-old dad Tobias. The zoo says they have yet to determine if a cub is a boy or a girl, and so it doesn't have a name yet. But animal care staff say mom and her cub are both healthy, active, and alert. Nalaya and her cub will stay behind the scenes for at least 1 to 2 months to give them time to bond and then gradually introduce the cub to the rest of the pride. Zoo staff says the two will primarily stay in their den box, which mimics the space that an African lion would seek out to give birth in the wild. But in the meantime, zoogoers will still be able to watch footage of Nalaya and her new cub in their den box on the TV screens around Predator Ridge.
Well, that was just adorable. And hey, thanks a lot, Jen. Thanks a lot for getting Hakuna Matata stuck in my head.
Yeah, you know, I wanted to share the love a little bit. What a wonderful phrase, is it not?
It is a wonderful phrase, indeed. Well, let's get to some weather this morning. We are looking at just some very cloudy conditions outside, some rain in a few places, and we have a little bit of a monsoonal pattern, at least for a little bit. We have some drier weather coming. All the details on when all the rain clears up coming up with that full forecast. But let's take a look at our pollen forecast one last time this morning, brought to us by Allergy and Asthma Center of Western Colorado. We'll be right back.